right, Lupe 46, how's it going?
Oh man, it's a beautiful day today. A beautiful day today. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, bro.
Yeah, it is. Well, there's a lot going on.
Oh yeah, you already
A
know.
lot going on with you,
Mhm.
but I would like to just take the time just to get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably know you a little bit about your background, but they probably don't know a lot. So we'll kind of just like get into it and everything.
Mhm.
And, so where'd you grow up at?
Well, I grew up in Compton, bro. I was raised in Compton. My first years was right there. You know, living in Compton at the era that I grew up was really like the trenches every day over there. Even though if you're not from a gang, just living in those areas, you get to see what the street life is just by living in certain houses. As a kid, you just like at first I wouldn't understand. Like when I first moved in, like, oh, why is people always parking here? Like they park and leave, park and leave, park and leave. We moved in front of a dope house, so they were coming and going, all the time. And I as a kid, I didn't understand. When the cops would come and raid, and they like they never got caught. They were the best drug dealers I ever knew, bro. They knew how to hide the shit because they would never open the door, and by the time they opened the door, everything disappeared in the house. They probably you know how they are. They have money. They know how to build trap doors and all kinds of shit, bro.
So they were always able to stay one step ahead of the
Yes,
cops.
always, always. And I would like, and one thing about us, my dad told us never to say anything, like never get involved in none of that. Like if the cops come and ask questions or anything, just don't stay, mind your own business. And that's what my dad taught me, like from a young age, like mind my business, don't get involved in that. So I always carried that from a young kid. To stay in my lane and they stay in their lane and we won't crash, even though we were right in front of it. Even though the bullets was coming in our house, we seen everything, bro. And we never, one, we didn't die. Two, we didn't we didn't come out on no paperwork as kids. Even because even kids, they'll ask a kid if you see, they'll ask kids, bro. The detectives don't give a fuck. They just start going in the yard asking questions. And you just gotta stay out of it. Say no, you don't know anything, and that's it, and keep it pushing, bro.
So even your guys' house even got hit with some bullets too?
Hell yeah! It's cause look, we lived in the corner like this, like in the alley where C-Mac did the friendly fade. That's the alley I grew up in, and like our house was in the corner. Right across the street was the dope house. So the enemies would come up our alley and stop right there, and they would be across the street. So it was like a shootout back and forth. In the daytime, we're eating chorizo in the morning.
This was in Compton, right?
Yeah, we're eating chorizo. We're eating breakfast and shit. Like, oh, we gotta hit the floor. Or my brother be outside. Like, I remember one time my mom was like tripping, and they started shooting in the daytime. It might have been like 2 o'clock or 12. They don't shoot at night. They were shooting in the daytime, and my brother was outside. Like, we used to have this guy. His name was Paul. And he used to bring sodas to our house and put them in our house and use it as like a storage. And then he'll come and pick it up. And my brother was outside helping him with the sodas. And that's when they came in and started shooting, bro. And my brother already knew, like, all right, I got to hit the floor. Like, if you're a kid, that's all we need. Hit the floor, dodge them. And that's why we always stay safe. Like, even in my brother's room, there was like a bullet hole, right? Came in his room right where he used to play the game at.
Damn.
And thank God we weren't there. He would have been shot up, my little brother. I mean, my brother, he's my big brother, but he would have been shot up as a kid, bro. Like just, like, I don't know if you ever heard a bullet go by your ear. Ever heard a bullet go by your ear?
Yeah.
So you know how it sounds, right? That whistling sound. So you know what I'm talking about, that whistling sound, So it's like, shoom, they, hit, shoom, they're going to hit somewhere. And you just got to make sure, like, they're not that close. That you just want to hear the whistling sound. You don't want that shit to hit you, you know what I'm saying? If you're in those type of situations, bro. And I started going through that at 8 years old.
Is that what age you moved to Compton?
Well, I moved to Compton at 8 before I stayed in Southgate.
Okay.
I moved there at 8 because the people before us, the lady killed her son. And that's how we moved in there. My grandma's house, she rented it to some people, and the lady ended up killing her son. And we used to play with that little boy. He was a little boy. He was about like 9 or 10. And that's how we moved in the house. Then we never moved out. And, we moved out till afterwards, but when we got older, But that's how, when I moved in, the first thing I seen was a bullet hole in the window from that little boy. It was still there.
Damn.
And then, I just felt like his spirit was always there. Because he was a little boy, like, and the mom didn't go to jail or nothing. She just said that she thought it was an intruder, like a black person. Like, how would you think a little boy is robbing your house?
Wow.
Like, even if we see the shadow, it's not that, how big is that shadow? And so I feel like she got, like, as a kid, I was like, God damn, the mom killed her son. So, like, when we moved in there, that's was already, you already knew what you were getting yourself into. Like, as I see it now as an adult, like, I go back in my life and I see the things that I've lived through, and I'm like, we don't have, at that time, we're not, like, super rich, bro, so we had to move in the house with my grandma. And my dad had 4 kids, you know what I'm saying? So it was good that we moved into the house, but also we moved into, like, the trenches as a kid. So I was always like, I seen that basically listen, from 8 to, like, I've been seeing it all my life, basically, almost.
Did you ever see anybody get shot in front of your house or in front of the dope house or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I seen people get their brains blown out.
Damn, right in front of you?
Yeah, we were going home one time. It's in front of me, on the side of me. Yeah.
All right, and how do you think this affected you growing up?
Well, I didn't think I think now that I think about it, that I go through my life, like, it probably did have an effect on me, but I try to, like, as a kid, like, what could you do? I mean, I didn't know what to do. Like, I just, like, once you start seeing the deaths and stuff, like, it kind of becomes like, you at the first one, you'd be like, okay, that's crazy. But then you start, like, to get used to seeing that. Like, as my mind started getting used to seeing all the shit I saw.
Was your family involved in gangs at all?
Mm-mm.
No.
Some of my cousins, yeah, but not my immediate family, like my sisters and brothers, no.
Okay.
My parents used to whoop the fuck. I mean, they were really, my parents were really strict, but I was the only one that was always against the grain from a kid. I always went however I wanted to go. I didn't care about the consequences. I didn't care if I was going to get chewed up by the tiger, none of that stuff. The lion, I went into a lion's cage one time as a kid, as 18, I went into a lion's cage because I always wanted to touch a lion.
You went into the lion's cage and touched the lion?
Yes, bro. Like, when I went on a jumper, I said part of the story, but I didn't finish it. Like, because the other part is embarrassing, because when I touched the lion, bro, that motherfucker got up. When he got up, I was like, oh, she's going to fucking chew me up. He peed on me. No. I don't know what that, yes. So I'd rather get wet than bit.
Okay.
I'd rather get sprinkled by the goddamn lion than getting bit by the lion, because he chewed up a couple of people. That same lion, he was on the newspaper.
Damn, where was this at?
In Ensenada.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it's like a tourist part, and they have, like, cages, and they had one cage with the lion, then they had the cage with the monkey. But right before I went into the lion's cage, I got slapped by the monkey, bro. And that monkey came out on TV too, because he used to be a drunk. So I think he slapped me when he was drunk, bro. I gave it coconut, and then I gave it coconut with chili powder in it, and then he dropped it, and I seen the face, and I was like, oh shit, smack.
Damn.
I'd rather get smacked by the monkey than bit by the lion, bro, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I don't want to be bit by no lion or mauled by a lion either.
Nah, but you know what? I always like told myself, like, you can't show no fear no matter where you are. Even if like you're gonna show the lion fear, he's gonna chew you up.
Right.
The monkey, I couldn't slap him back because the security guard was there. You know what I'm saying? The lion, I know if he would have attacked me, I would have been done in there, because I was inside the cage. But I went in there with no fear and confident in myself that this lion's not gonna chew me up, bro. I swear to God, I never in a million years thought I would pet a lion the way I did. You know what I'm saying? How can you pet a lion? Unless you go to the sanctuaries, whatever, and they don't even let you pet them then. They gotta be the baby ones,
Yeah.
They let you pet the baby ones only. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I went in there, and that was 18 years when I turned my dad took me to Ensenada for my 18th birthday. And sometimes you go through things in life to show you, like, the lion's nothing. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be bigger people coming at you, and you always got to be strong and you got to be strong. You can't show no fear no matter who's in front of you. I swear to God, that's why I've been, like, knocked out so many times. Well, not so many times, but I've been knocked out by the biggest guys and stuff, because I don't show no fear. I don't care if you King Kong, bro, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like God made me go through a lot of struggles because I'm going to go against bigger people as I'm going. You know what I'm saying? As I'm going through life. Like, it's like the shit that I seen is probably nothing compared to what I'm going to go into next. So you have to be mentally strong. You know, they're like, oh, why you always put so many sad posts? It's not that I put sad posts. It's just my life. It sometimes be like fucked up, and I'll put it like do a little metaphor, and it sounds crazy, but you know, I just read a lot of books.